Jack Russells fool people every day. You see a cute, compact little dog, and you have no idea you're bringing home a little mastermind with opinions, missions, grudges, hobbies, and a daily to do list you never approved. They're brilliant, hilarious, and unbelievably intense, sometimes all in the same 5 minutes. So before you get blindsided by the reality of living with one, here are 9 bad habits that define the Jack Russell experience and why owners both laugh and cry about them in equal measure. Number 1. The Jack Russell's "I will outlast you" stubbornness. Living with a Jack Russell means living with a creature whose determination borders on the supernatural. Once their brain locks onto something, be it a toy, a smell, a squirrel, or even a noise 3 houses down, you're done. They commit like it's a life mission. However, this trait comes straight from their working roots. Jack Russells weren't bred to give up. They were bred to dig, chase, squeeze into holes, and keep going long after any reasonable dog would have tapped out. That instinct didn't disappear just because they now live on couches and sleep under blankets. One owner described it perfectly, saying, "Mine will chase a bell until its legs shake. If obsession was a sport, he'd have a trophy wall." Every walk, every game, every "leave it" command becomes a test of mental endurance, and your dog is absolutely convinced they can outlast you. So if you're looking for a laid-back companion, this is the wrong breed. A Jack Russell wakes up ready for a challenge and then goes to bed planning tomorrow's. Number 2. They can turn anything into their possession. Jack Russells may be small, but they walk around with the self-confidence of a full-grown lion. One of the places this shows up most is resource guarding. And unlike many breeds, a JRT doesn't limit valuable items to food or toys. To them, anything can become treasured property. A blanket, a sock, a spot on the couch, even you. When they feel something is theirs, they defend it with intensity. A low growl, a stiff body, a snap, they're not bluffing. And they don't care that they weigh 15 pounds. This is ancient terrier wiring. Protect what's important, no matter the size of the opponent. In fact, one owner joked, "Day 742 of causing the kingdom. The humans still don't suspect anything. I blend in. I am the table." This is exactly why JRTs can be tough for first-time owners or households with young kids. You have to set rules early and stick to them. If you don't make it clear who controls the resources, they'll happily step into the role and run your house like a tiny, chaotic monarch. Number 3. They have a digging habit you can't stop. If you think a Jack Russell makes small, harmless holes, you're in for a rude awakening. This breed digs with purpose, precision, and historical authority. Their ancestors worked underground, squeezing into tunnels to flush out foxes and badgers. That instinct never faded. It just relocated to your yard, your flower beds, and occasionally the underside of your fence. Plus, they work fast, quietly, and with impressive strategy. You won't hear scratching or warning signs. You'll just find the aftermath and a dog proudly wearing a full face of dirt. As one exasperated owner joked, "Toby digs with so much enthusiasm, I'm convinced he's trying to reach another country. If he ever makes it, he better come back with souvenirs." Without a plan, your yard can quickly turn into a construction site. So what's the solution? Give them an approved dig zone. Because when a Jack Russell decides the earth must be moved, nothing on this planet is stopping them. Number 4. The ball can become an unhealthy obsession. Most dogs love to fetch. Jack Russells live for it. What starts as a fun game quickly turns into tunnel vision. The ball becomes the center of the universe, and your dog shifts into full prey drive mode. Some JRTs get so fixated they literally can't think about anything else. They'll stare at the ball, whine at it, pace around it, and refuse to engage in anything unrelated to retrieve it. Put it away? They'll sit in front of the cabinet and wait you out like a tiny, determined gambler guarding a slot machine. One owner put it perfectly. Pretty sure my Jack Russell is addicted. Kitty acts like the ball is oxygen. Literally, ball is life. The problem isn't the game, it's the obsession. A JRT that can't mentally disengage becomes overstimulated, frantic, and eventually exhausted. So you have to manage the habit, rotate toys, teach a clear all done, and swap out fetch for scent work or puzzle games. Otherwise, you won't just have a dog who loves fetch. You'll have a full-blown ball addict whose entire emotional stability depends on a worn-out piece of rubber. Number 5. The car-chasing lunatic instinct is real. If it moves, your Jack Russell will chase it. No hesitation, no fear, no second thought. That famous prey drive isn't limited to squirrels or rabbits. It extends to cars, bikes, joggers, scooters, delivery trucks, and sometimes even grocery bags blowing down the street. To a JRT, anything fast is fair game. Sure, this might look like misbehavior, but it's actually genetics. Jack Russells were bred to spot motion instantly and pursue it with single-minded intensity. Unfortunately, modern life offers them an endless stream of triggers, many of which weigh 3,000 pounds and don't stop for tiny dogs. In fact, one owner put it perfectly. My dog tries to chase everything. Cars, bikes, people. He once went after a UPS truck and chased it for 3 blocks, barking like a maniac. This habit is dangerous, and you can't train it out. You can only manage it. That means locked gates, secure fences, rock-solid recalls, and never letting them off leash anywhere near traffic. To a Jack Russell, a moving object isn't a threat. It's more like a dare. Number 6. Selective hearing is practically a lifestyle choice. A Jack Russell hears you perfectly fine. Whether they respond is another matter entirely. This breed runs every command through an internal scoreboard, and unless your request ranks higher than whatever smells, moves, or rustles nearby, you'll get nothing but a blank stare. Owners swear their dogs have mastered the art of pretending to be deaf until something interesting happens. As one JRT owner joked, "He can spend the entire day ignoring every command I give, but I'll quietly open a Cheetos bag 3 rooms away and he'll be running towards me." This is the JRT mindset. They're independent thinkers who prefer making their own decisions, and following instructions only becomes appealing when the payoff is immediate and impressive. To keep their attention, you have to make training sessions fast, rewarding, and unpredictable. High-value treats, quick games, and constant engagement work far better than repeating commands until you're hoarse. A Jack Russell evaluates every moment like a tiny strategist. So staying relevant is the real challenge. Number 7. They will backtalk you like a teenager. Some dogs bark to communicate. A Jack Russell sounds like a debt collector who finally tracked down your number. This isn't normal barking. This is commentary, complaints, reminders, requests, negotiations, and full-volume opinions delivered directly to your face. A Jack Russell learns fast that noise gets results, and once they figure out you'll eventually open the door, refill the bowl, or hand over the toy just to buy a moment of quiet, the habit solidifies. They don't bark because they're confused. They bark because they know exactly what they want and refuse to wait politely for it. The pitch is sharp, the persistence is impressive, and the confidence behind it is unmatched. As one frazzled owner joked, "Mine will literally bark at me while making eye contact. It's like he's trying to intimidate me and will do it non-stop until he gets what he wants." Breaking this habit takes ironclad patience. Ignore the noise, reward calm, and stay consistent. Give an inch, and your Jack Russell will run your entire household with its mouth. Number 8. A Jack Russell's escape instinct is no joke. A Jack Russell doesn't wander. They leave with purpose, speed, and a full action plan they drafted weeks ago. It's not rebellion or a desire to see what's down the street. It's pure working terrier instinct. If a scent catches their attention, your yard becomes nothing more than a minor obstacle on the way to their next mission. They'll dig under fences, scale them like rock climbers, squeeze through gaps you didn't think existed, or position themselves by the door like a tiny Olympian waiting for the starting gun. In fact, one owner learned the hard way saying, "My JRT slipped past my legs, cleared the porch steps, and was halfway down the block before I even processed what happened. I swear, he must have trained for it." This isn't a habit you correct, it's one you contain. Reinforced fencing, buried wire, double gates, self-closing doors, and a zero-tolerance policy for open exits are mandatory because a Jack Russell doesn't dream of freedom, they strategize for it. Number 9. Separation anxiety turns them into a shadow with paws. For all their boldness outdoors, a Jack Russell's confidence evaporates the moment you walk out the door. Many are shockingly clingy, following you room to room, pacing when you get up, and watching your every move like they're tracking a flight path. Once alone, that attachment can spiral into full-blown panic, and the results aren't subtle. Some owners come home to shredded pillows. Others find chewed doormats, toppled trash cans, or a living room rearranged by anxiety. In fact, one owner admitted, "I thought I was getting an independent Jack Russell. As the blog said, somehow ended up with a shadow who panics even when I step out to the mailbox for a minute." Managing this habit means planning your exits like a military operation. Exercise first, then mental work, then carefully structured alone time training. Food puzzles, frozen Kongs, and crate routines help, but progress is slow and requires patience. So before you decide to leave them alone, keep in mind that their bravery has limits, and those limits start the second you're out of sight. Hey, if you enjoyed this, you'll probably love this video here. And if you hit subscribe, I'll donate a meal to a rescue dog on your behalf.